I found out, spirituality is built on love. Love is trust. Love is communication. Love is contribution.
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's newsman,
And if you're just
Logan
trying to
Crawford.
investigators, they now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're exploring a remarkable journey. A journey from communist Romania to the freedom of the United States of America. We're talking with one of my favorite authors, one of my favorite guests. His name is Dr. Michael Ritivoi Hansen. He has penned a powerful new book. It is called The Age of Ignorance. And in the book, the doctor tackles life's biggest questions. What is life? How should we live it? And why understanding it matters for our happiness. Through personal experience, philosophical insight, and a call for deeper awareness, he challenges readers to think, question, and never settle for ignorance. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Brookside Press for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his remarkable book. The links are below this interview. Doctor, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Well, thank you very much. It's my opportunity, my glad.
This is an amazing book. It's actually a follow-up to your other book, The Message, right? This is a sequel of sorts?
Yes, it is. Because once I got my medical diploma in Romania, and I started to work in my profession, I was very excited and I put all my energy in it. But I found a lot of obstacles, which didn't make any sense. And in the end, I found that the communist system is reducing so much the financial contribution for my medical profession that I could do almost nothing. So this is when I decided to leave the country. So I came to the United States. I have no profession recognized. I have no money. I didn't speak English. I mean, I was just dropped from the sky right there in the middle of the United States. But anyway, I knew what I wanted and I pursue a step at a time my goals. And I became a dentist and I started to work in my profession, which was very nice. But once in the United States, the first thing I found as a surprise was a Bible. I never had a Bible in my hand in Romania. I didn't know anything about religion, other than it's nice, but this is nothing. So I read it, and it was very exciting. The most exciting thing at all was the Bible talks about love, or the backbone of communism is hate. You have to hate the rich. You have to hate the opposing social class. Everything good and real is the working class. All right, that's fine. But the working class are not those who created that cultural environment you had over there. It was the upper class who created industries, created entertainment, created everything that was worth doing, worth living for. So why to throw them away? Why not to use them? But anyway, everything is written in my book, The Message. So I pay attention to the Bible to see how far it goes. some things are not very clear to me. So this is why I wanted to read it again and read more carefully. And this is what I found when I found that the religion has also its own limitations, pretty much like the communist system, with desire to everything to be equal, to be prosperous and so forth. Fine, that's fine, but it didn't work. Same in the United States. We have the Bible, we have the religious knowledge, but instead of taking advantage of it, we use it to shut ourselves. So this is when I started to pay attention to it, and this is how this book, The Age of Ignorance, came about. What is ignorance? What ignorance I'm talking about, for God's sake? The ignorance is that we confuse the physical existence we have with our spiritual nature. What are we? Are we created by God, who is not physical? He is a spiritual presence, a spiritual force. Are we created by God the same way as He is, spiritual forces? Or are we the bodies we see? I came to the conclusion that the bodies basically are fantasies. We are not bodies. Because we are not bodies, this is why we die. Because we don't supposed to be there. Because we don't produce as much as we're supposed to. We don't do as much as we're supposed to do. When we cannot. Why we cannot? Because physicality is coming with a load of rules. And being supposed to those rules, obviously we go down. What those rules are? As a spiritual person, we have access to the infinite. We have access to the whole universe. As a physical person, we have access to this computer in front of my face. We have access to the house in the city, and about it, which is not infinite by any chance of his imagination. Then, as I found out, spirituality is built on love. Love is trust. Love is communication. Love is contribution. What the physicality offers is a very limited environment and very limited conditions we have to work in. We have a job place, we have a house, we have a car, it's about it. This is not the life, truly. The world is creating us as physical beings. We have sons and daughters. But as a spiritual beings, we are not limited to any person. We have kids in order to be able to nurture them until they come to the maturity, and then they have to flow. But I have a whole list here of what I wanted to say, and I don't know now which one to pick.
Well, you're doing very, very well. And it's amazing the contrast that you've painted between freedom and communism, the fact that communism is based on hate and freedom and Christianity and the Bible is based on love. And I think that is the two forces that you find in the two systems. And unfortunately, right now, it seems in America, some of that hate is filtering in. They hate the people who are working. They hate the people who are rich. They hate the people who are creating the jobs, the opportunities, the products. So you're seeing a lot of that communism infiltrate now into America, don't you think?
Yes, it is. It is. Um, Truth is love, and we replace love with having, having goods, having a good car, a good house, and so forth. Also, how to say, we spiritually have a minds. We have minds we use and create and build on it, build with it. As a humans, we have the goods we have to work with. We have physical goods, but this is so limiting. It doesn't do anything to our quality of life other than helping us to go from here to there. Uh, Spiritually, we are not demanding to have any sacrifice at all. Of course, the Bible talk about sacrifice, but what the Bible talk about sacrifice is a human thinking. It is not a spiritual nature. The Bible we have and we rely on, basically it's written by physical people. And our physical values are making their place there in the Bible. The Bible basically tries to mix up spirituality with physicality, which it doesn't work, is not the truth. So this is why my book came out of what is life? What are we meant to do and be? It's interesting, but I had a couple of verbal communications with, you may believe I'm crazy, with Einstein. I don't know how he found me, probably because of my writings. He said, yes, you are right. Here you are right. And it gave me a lot of courage. We are not meant to sacrifice anything. The sacrifice is not part of our life. Sacrifice is our build up and our physical objection, interference in the reality. We are to create, to build up, to trust each other, and to build up on open and fair communication between us. We don't suppose there is so much to say that I don't know which one to start with. But think about you and trying to find a way out. Because what is there? When Jesus came to teach us to make a difference between physicality and spirituality. Spiritually, have certain values. Stick with those values and forget about the rest of us. Do we do that? No. Basically, the existing church at the time, because the church, it is a physical construction, basically, is not as much as spiritual as we want it to be. Some spiritual elements, but basically everything is physical. And because Jesus came and tried to teach us how to spiritually live our life, it basically upset the whole religious system. And because of that, they decided to get rid of him. And we got him crucified and eliminated.
Yeah.
Fortunately, about thousands of years later, he left a book on which I am basing my book, The Age of Ignorance. And his book is 1,200 pages. It's pure spirituality. But what did we do with this book? We did what we did with his personal presence 2,000 years before. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Nobody knows about this book. It is up on the market. Anybody can buy one and read it.
Mm-hmm.
But who buy it? I don't know. Very few.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to read it anyway because it's very intellectual.
Yeah. It's an
And
important book, the most important book ever written. That's for sure. It touched your life.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, without a doubt. Let me ask you this. We're almost at a time, Doctor, but I want to ask you, why did you entitle your book The Age of Innocence?
The Age of Ignorance.
Ignorance, rather, The Age of Ignorance.
Because what we do is ignorance, truly.
Yeah.
The ignorance is rejecting the reality and reading a dream, living personal desires.
Basically not living in accordance to the Bible, which is basically a blueprint for a happy life, a well-lived life, right? A life of spirituality.
That's correct.
Yeah.
We have to live, because we are spiritual beings, live our spiritual values. And this has give us access to the whole universe. You can speak the way Einstein said, you can speak with anybody across the whole universe, which is infinite. You can speak with them. You can communicate. Why shouldn't we?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Well, the book you've written is a powerful book. It is called The Age of Ignorance. It is an inspiring journey of truth, freedom, and life's deeper meaning. It's an important book. It's a companion to the Bible. It'll teach you about the importance of freedom. It'll teach you about the doctor's life. It'll help you grapple with fundamental questions about what are we doing here on this earth? What is life all about? Why is it worth living? If you've ever pondered any of those questions, and I would hope all of us have at one point, this book is a must read. Doctor, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity for me to talk. And I prepared for it. I have pages of notes, but there are so many notes here that I get messed up in them.
Well, you did a great job, I think, in explaining everything to us, and we appreciate that. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.